Good morning, participants. I am Dr. Vipin B. Gawande, and on behalf of Department of Mechanical Engineering from Vidya Pratishthan's Kaman Bajaj College of Engineering and Baramati, I welcome all the participants for the inaugural function of the online project competition Innovator 2020. Actually, the objective of the competition is to provide the platform to the students who are doing the research in the form of the experiments or in the form of the projects. So we have carried out this, or we have planned this competition so that the students present their findings in the form of their project reports, and then we have evaluated that project reports with the help of the experts, and we are going to declare the best projects at the end of this the after the technical session of our expert keynote speaker. Okay, so now I request the today we have with us the our honorable principal Dr. R.S. Biskar, head of our department Dr. V.R. Chitrakar, Dean R&D Dr. Sachin Bhosle, and other organizing committee members. So I also welcome all the HODs, students from various colleges who have taken the participation for this event, and I wish them all the best for the coming the results. Okay, so now I request Dr. P.R. Chitrakar to present his view on the Innovator 2020. Sir, please, sir.
All of you on the outside. First of all, I welcome all of you. I'll welcome all of you to this online project competition named Innovator 2020. So myself, Dr. P.R. Chitrakar, HOD of the Mechanical Department here. First of all, so good morning one and all, and welcome to this event. At present conditions, we are passing through this unexpected corona situation, which is question of a challenge of the human sustenance. But amid of this situation also, through so many government organizations, yes, so many webinars, we are learning so many things. That is, we are serving our duty here. So just I would like to say, first, we being the human beings, it is our first duty to take care of ourselves out of this pandemic situation. And this pandemic situation we are suffering from the last 3 months. So worldwide, there are so many events are going on. In tune with this one, we have planned to have, but anyhow, though it is a pandemic situation, but it is going to be lasting within a few months of span. So secondly, as we are the engineers, we are having a holistic professionals in the society. We supposed to serve the society in the later future. So it is our prime duty, because we being called as the world makers. We will build the world. This was called as from the engineering society. So we supposed to take care of our society in the future coming years after COVID-19 situation. So with respect to these two scenarios, like we are being the human beings and we being the engineers, technocrats, we supposed to serve the society even out of such a drastical adversities also. So with this tune, we have organized a competition which is called as the Innovator 2020, a online project competition, which is majorly focusing on the different type of the societal skills what our engineers mind is having, our engineer fraternity is having in their mind, that we would like to focus, and if possible, so we are going to provide you the e-souvenir through this part, so that you will be having a collection of all those ideas, and in future, if possible, you can go for the implication of the same. So out of this Innovator 2020 project competition, we have invited the competitions from all over the engineering disciplines, from computer, information technology, ENTC, mechanical, civil, and even from science college students also. And out of this, we are lucky to have around 250 plus participants for this competition. First of all, I heartily welcome all of you for this competition, and really I'll appreciate your efforts you have taken towards this competition by submitting your papers and everything. So even based on the review and peer review of your papers, we are going to publish first number, second number, third rank. Though I believe that a rank is only for tagging them, not for saying them they are the first. I would like to say on the outside, all the participants who have taken participation in this event are really the winners of this competition. Really, they do have executed their mind out of this situation to show their talents, to show their, yes, they can do something against this corona situation for the world, for the society. Really, I'll appreciate them. In that way, I would like to say all are the winners in this event. But anyhow, we're supposed to select, we're supposed to tag them as first, second, and third. So that it is, I would like to say it is just number game. Otherwise, all are winners. I'll thank you all of you, as well as my coordinators, as well as the speakers of today's event, Dr. Chamoli sir, Sunil Chamori sir, as well as Dr. Rohan Pandey sir, who has taken active participation and who has supported us in sending their views on this part, and also a part of this event. I also thankful to our beloved principal, Dean R&D, as well as Dean Academic, who are supported us in carrying out this event. So on the last point, I would like to say congratulations to all of you. Once again, I welcome you. Take care of yourself as well as your family against this corona situation. Don't be panic, because we are being the servants of the society. First, we should be safe, and then secondly, we should think of serving the society. So I would like to say Sarvajano Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you one and all. Now I'll hand over the program to Dr. Gawande sir for the further presentations. Gawande sir.
We have with us, so we'll move to the technical webinar, and the first guest, our technical speaker is Dr. Sunil Chamoli. He is Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, JBPIT, Pauri Garhwal, Uttarakhand. He has completed his PhD from NIT Hamirpur, and he has published over 60 research papers in various reputed journals. And all the papers are having the SCI and Scopus indexing. His research work includes the numerical and experimental investigation of solar thermal system. So he has a vast experience while dealing with the solar thermal system. So we will now, I request the sir to give his presentation.
Good morning to all of you. I'm Dr. Sunil Chamoli, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering Department at GBFPIT, Gurdwari Pauri Garhwal. Before proceeding to the session on the project-based learning and research, I would just like to thank to the VP Kamal and Bajaj Institute of Engineering Technology for organizing such a wonderful event to inculcate the UG, PG and the school students to get involved in the project-based learning and research. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. R.S. Bichkar, Head of the Institutions of VPK BIT. Then I would like to thank the organizing committee members. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Parshuram, the Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Then I would pay my sincere gratitude to the other members of this organizing committee, Dr. Sachin Bhosle, Dr. Shrish Bali, Dr. Vipin Gavanade. The list is not just end up over here. There are so many other faculty members also who are the part of organizing this event in very nice manner. So before proceeding to my some small sort of sessions on the project-based learning research, I was in that particular session. I was just want to start with some important key points of the project-based learning research, the importance of project-based learning research. Then I would like to share how we inculcate or incubate our UG and PG students together to do some good research projects that can be either filed some patents or that can be published in a very good journal, so that even the BTech UG students can gather so many much information from this. And at last, we I will also would like to share my research, what my research team is did in the past, what we have did in the past, and now what we are at present, what we are doing. Okay, so now I would like to uh, share with you so the importance of the project-based learning in research. So, what is a project-based learning? So, the project-based learning, we can call it to be as a pedagogy approach that motivates students to learn the best by experiencing and solving the real-world problems. So, it is much matter that instead of giving to the traditional sort of things, if we involve students with this pedagogy approach of this project-based learning, so that will have a very long-term benefits for the students. So this approach will help students to get involved in the real world problems, and this will also help students to think far beyond the classroom. So that kind of things, that PBL, we need to get inculcate or to get indulged with this PBL techniques. So the key parameters of this PBL, or what we call to be as a requisite of the PBLs, that the students should learn the knowledge to tackle the realistic problems. So that they must do the problems that are quite real, that they must think like this. The students do their projects like this. The students will think like that, how the bird will fly, what will be happen if the birds will be flappy wings. So why the bird will get a forward thrust by giving the flaps to their wings, why this is going to be happen, why this particular heat transfer process occurs, why this engine troubleshooting need to be done. The students must think from beyond the classroom, beyond them. So that can be only be happen if we can involve the students with this PBL, that is the project based learning. If we didn't do like this, then it will be much we can also say that we narrow down the students approach. Second thing is that students, if you involve the students with this PBL technique, so it will surely that the students will increase its control over his learning. The things what the students did with his hand over the real sort of problems. So for that will we have a long-term benefits, and students would get more knowledge from this by doing some experiments by their hands or like this. So we must involve the students in this kind of activity. And the most important part on this for the successful of this PBL is to the mentors, what we call the teachers or the mentors or the coaches. So they have their sole responsibility that if this particular students is having some problems, so they need to get revoked to the problems, or students will go and do some literature survey. Then if he or she or in a group of students, if they found some problem, then the mentor will help. So mentor is a facilitators, or which will just look up that what actually students wants to do. Similarly, when we talk about PBL, so we must talk about the learning outcomes. What are the learning outcomes of PBL, and what are the parameters which helps for the success of this PBL or this kind of pedagogy approach? So it is well proven in the open literature, as so many studies by many humanitarians, by many applied science peoples, many masters, MBA graduates. They did research on this and they found that, and they also published many in their open literature, that the PBL technique, or what we call the project-based learning approach, it is much have a longer term benefits in context to the knowledge to the students, in context to its ability to think in the for the real world problems. So this will always have a very benefits. This pedagogy approach is always having beneficial over this traditional knowledge. So when we talk about the parameters that need to be taken up while considering this pedagogy approach, so it will surely be think like this are realistic problems or the projects that align with student skills. Like if we cannot give the projects or we not give the problem to the students if he or she is not capable to do. Like if a particular student don't know the open form, then if you gave the problem that you need to do this problem with open form, then it's a bit very harsh on that particular student's capability to do. Or either he or she must learn the open form. So that's what, like, the students who know the open form domain, then they will you can inculcate the students, those who know the open form with the students those who don't know open form, then it will much helpful, then he or she will learn. So the problem should be quite realistic problem, and you should align the projects to the students depending upon their skills, depending as you already know that the students have the different capabilities. So depending upon their capabilities and their content and skills, we need to divide the problems, and we will allocate that particular problems to students on the basis of this. Second thing, we can structure the group of students. If a particular student want to do the projects on his or her own, that's a quite difficult task, and it should not be done like this. So they must have a group of students should be there with having the different sort of skills, so that they can get up into a common problem. Like just for an example I just mentioned, like if a particular students do the open form, and if some of the students are very good in doing the experimental activities, so that you can inculcate, or you can incubate both the students, like one who know the open form, then you can give the numerical simulation problem to do with the open form. And those who are very much good in doing the experiments, then you can do the experiments and compare the numerical and the experimental sort of things. So then at that sort of time, all of them have a very cumulative kind of thing. So this should be based on this. So we should divide the students based on their capabilities. It should be divided based on their knowledge, and we always think to students to get in a groups of students with having the different sort of skills. And we should also to give rewards to the students that yeah, you did really well today, and we must check their assignments regularly, that we have I just assigned you this particular problem and you need to do this problem on time, like this. And secondly, things that the multifaceted assessment with multiple opportunities for the students. We should also receive the feedback from the students, like okay, I have just given you this problem, so in the regular practice you need to take the feedback from the students. So if there is some sort of problems, then we will discuss with the uh, other peoples, and then we can amend this particular problems. So I would just like to from request all of you to just uh, inculcate students with the UG students, with the PG students. So basically, as in our organization also, we always thought to have an amalgamated UG and PG students group, so that students UG student can also learn much things from the PG students. And we'll always try to give problems to the students based depending upon their knowledge, depending upon their needs, what kind of things they want. So, and we just provoke students to give the projects to the students from the second year onwards. So in the second year, we just give project to the students, and we just say that you need to do this project up to the fourth year. So depending upon their major or minor, whatever the course curriculum that we have, so based on that, so we basically assign the students to project from the second year onwards, and they have a mentor with that particular group, and that mentor will be continuously having the weekly assignment, and then we have some sort of in meetings from 3 months or 4 months or like this. Now I just would like to share some of our research content, that what my research group have did in the past, what I have did in the past couple of 2 3 years, and what I'm going to do in the next future aspects. That I just want to discuss some of the knowledge, that you can also take the ideas what I just want to share with you. You can take some ideas that you can also if you want, then. So I just want to share that this is the problem, particular problem that we did with my UG students and my PG students. So what we have did in this particular problem, students. So like as we already know that the heat exchanger. This is a kind sort of heat exchanger. So we have a air heat exchanger in this, and in this particular problem, what we want to do, we want to enhance the efficiency or the performance of this heat exchanger. So what we basically did in this particular sort of thing, so what we have did in this experiments, my UG and PG students, both the students did this problem. So what we have did in this particular problem, we use the vortex generators. So what basically these vortex generators do? So these vortex generators is a, you can say it's a kind of a passive type of methodology that used to enhance the performance of this heat exchangers. So in this particularly what we have a test section over here. We have a test section over here, and in that test section we measure the temperatures over this, and we provide a uniform heat flux over this uh, tested surface by help of some external heater, and then we measure the temperature, the surface temperature over this by and the condition on the heat transfer is for the constant flux heat transfer condition. Then what we did, then we record the temperature measurements at the inlet, we measure the temperature records at the outlet, and on the surface temperature we measure. Then we just calculate the heat transfer from this, and we also measure the pressure differential over there by help of a digital micromanometer. And then by having the pressure data, by having the temperature data, we calculate the heat transfer characteristics by using these sort of perforated vortex generators, what we call. So by having the different design configurations we have used different design configurations with different design geometrical parameters over there, and then we change the parameters and then look up the heat transfer and the friction characteristics. And we have published then this paper in a very reputed journals of applied thermal engineering of elsewhere. So we did like this. So you can also take some idea from this. If you want to do some sort of research in this, then you can also do like this. Either you can do it for the laminar flow or you can do it for the turbulent flow. This particular problem is for the turbulent flow, and you can also do it for the laminar flow. You can either use the fluid to be water, you can either use fluid to be air, or you can use either fluid to be the non-Newtonian fluids you can also use for this. So you can do like this. So any sort of fluids you can use. You can either use the horizontal sort of heat exchangers, you can either use the vertical sort of heat exchangers, or you can use some inclined sort of heat exchanger also. So depending on different configurations, you can, so either you can do the experimental sort of observations with this, or you can do the numerical sort of things with this. For the numerical, the best is to use the, already we have a very good software, the ANSYS with us. So you can use either ANSYS to do the numerical simulations, and then you can learn so many things from this, and then you can also have you can publish paper in very good journals. So this is the sort of some numerical simulation also we have with this. So you can just look up at this diagram, that how the strong vortex behind this vortex generator, what we call the perforated vortex generator, is formed, and the strong sort of vortex core that introduced inside this tube will helps to have a very thin thermal boundary layer, and which will consecutively provide a very strong turbulence inside this, will help us to enhance the heat transfer rate. So this sort of numerical simulations you can also do. So this is a problem for the heat exchanger performance improvements with the help of some perforated vortex generators. So you can also take some idea with this, that how we have did this particular problem. The same way we have also done some numerical simulations in the tube and channel flow. So like in the previous case, we have used the perforated vortex generators in case of tube flow, and we did some sort of experiments on that, and then do some numerical simulations. In this particular problem, we have just used the different design configurations for the winglet vortex generators in some channel flow. So the same thing we have done in the tube flow, we have used some different design configurations of this winglet vortex generators, and then we have generated the numerical data on this. And these numerical data, this we have published this paper in Solar Energy Journal, Journal of Solar Energy from elsewhere, and it's a very reputed journal. So we have this in this particular problem, some of the Chinese fellows from Southern University of Science and Technology are also involved in this, in doing this simulation. So that is also part of my research group. So we have did this simulations, all these simulations with the help of this Southern University of Science and Technology, Shenzhen, China. And we have published this paper in Solar Energy Journals. So you can take also idea that you don't need to do some sort of rigorous experiment. So you can also do the numerical simulations, and you have a very for just for the VP KPITV students, and you have a very good faculty, Dr. Vipin Kavanade, who is very expert in this numerical simulations, because I have done a lot of works with Vipin during his PhD. So you can also take help from him, and then you can also take some idea from this. So we have did this only the numerical simulations in this. So you can see that this is also the vortices that have. So we have different design configurations that we have used in this particular problem. So you can also, if you want to continue, and you can also do research in this particular topic, then you can take the ideas of from this. So we have also did some numerical simulations on micro channel flow. So you can look up that. You already know that what is the microchannel flow. So the microchannel flow for the with the substrates like the microchips, electronic equipments, they are very get much heated from the bottom substrate. We provide the heat flux of the order of 7500 watt per meter square, or 750 or more than that amount of heat is generated. So we require a proper sort of cooling arrangements that need to be taken up. So in this particular problem also we have did like this also. So what we have did in this particular problem, we did some design modifications of this micro channels by creating the tapered inside this microchannel, and then we have studied the thermal characteristics and also the pumping losses in this particular microchannel. So you can also do it, if you want, then you can do like this. You can do some modifications by creating the concave and convex shapes. That particular research problem is not been explored in the open literature. So you can, if you want, then you can do some design modifications by providing the different entry and exit sections, by providing the concave and convex sort of entrant and retentant centers. That can also be done. This problem is not being explored. If you want, then you can do this research problem and publish some good papers on this particular problem. So in this particular problem we did some design modification in microchannel, and we didn't do the experiments in this. So we did the numerical simulations. In the past we have did so many experiments on this microchannel flow, experiment observations also. So this see that by having the different design modifications, so you can look up that by taking the different design modification, how much effectively we reduce our temperature of the substrate temperatures. Over here you can see design modifications. We have a very sort of very high hot temperature zones, and with this design modifications the substrate temperature is quite low. So in this particular problem, we use the MOGA technique, the multi-objective genetic algorithm we used in this particular problem, and it's some sort of numerical simulations we did in this. I just want to also share that you can also do some flow simulations. Like if you don't have a much high computing facilities, like you don't have some sort of workstations, or you don't have a clusters with you, and if you want to do some good sort of research, then you can take the two-dimensional problem. Like in this particular case we have considered the two-dimensional problem. This is the two-dimensional problem. What we have did in this, we did some numerical simulations, and for this for the cam shaped cylinder. So you already know, the UG or students already know that we have a very significant drag on the cylinder surface. Very significant drag has been observed in the cylinder surfaces, and in order to reduce that drag, we can either use the splitter plate or some sort of design modifications. So what we have did in this particular problem, we have just modified the cylinder from a circular cylinder to the cam shaped cylinder. So we just modify the cam shaped cylinder in a two-dimensional problem, and then we just reduce the drag. So how much drag we have reduced, that we studied this. So this is a two-dimensional problem. So if you don't have much facility of computing facility, then you can do like this. You can do the 2D simulation. So in this particular problem, we do like this to have a very drag reductions. So you can see that the vortex shedding has been introduced over this, and this vortex shedding will very life threaten to these sort of cylinders. Okay, so we did modifications in this cylinder by considering it to the cam shaped cylinder, and then you can see that how much by taking the cam shaped cylinder, you can look up over here that how much vortex shedding, we just suppress the vortex shedding after that particular. So if we take this type of cylinder, so this will significantly drop down the drag reductions, and so this kind of problem you can also do in sort of 2D simulation. So this is the problems that we have just discussed in the couple of 2, 3, 4 years we have did, and at present we are doing some numerical sort of simulations to capture the transition flow. So to capture the transition flow in heat transfer, it's a very difficult task, and we are continuously putting our efforts to do some sort of experimental we want to do some experiments to capture the transition flow in case of this heat exchangers. So this is all about what we have did, and we just include other UG and PG students in this. We include our PhD students in this. So this is what we have did. I just shared a few of my research papers and some research problems. So if you want to ask anything in the future also, then you can communicate on my address, and or you can email me, and if you want to take any help on this. And now I just want to I would just request organizing committee members to get started with your event, and I would like thank you all for all of you to introduce me in this particular program. And I just want to like to share the students of UG and PG that you must do some good sort of research, that think for longer, broader aspects. Okay, just take some very good research problems. So I now just want to close my session over here, and I just want to I just request you all of you to stay home and stay safe, and thank you very much. And I just want to close my session now. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Sunil Samoli sir, for sharing your expertise on the project-based learning. We can take a small project also, and we can extend that results in some good reputed journals also. So that is only the aim of this the competition, so that you can take over the good research projects and communicate to the reputed journals. Now, with the permission of the dignitaries, I would like to inaugurate the souvenir of our project competition. So it comes something like this. So this is our souvenir, and we have included here all the our project reports, and we will also share this e-souvenir with all the participants and the faculty members after the event. So this is the projects are included here. Okay. Okay. Now I will take the opportunity to now to announce the winners. Now, from mechanical streams, now the base project, now it goes to Alpha, the human powered vehicle from PR Pote College of Engineering and Management, Amravati. The author is Shubham Ghate, Shubham Kadu, and Aniket Kade. The second, the project is effect of spiral coil on heat transfer in double pipe heat exchanger, Nagpur Institute of Technology. The author is Sahil S. Pabewar, and his team. The third, the base project, it goes to the two projects, which is from the development and parametric comparisons of Bedeni's free energy generator, which is from VPKBIT Baramati, and the author is Priyanka B. Kulkarni and his team. The next project is the design and fabrication of river cleaning robot, which is from AISS MS COE Pune, and the author is Sangram Kharde and his team. The next is from the computer, and the winners are the first project, the base project. It goes to the smart shopping cart by RFID technology, which is from the Kalasangam Academy of Research and Education, Naga, and the author is Naga Jyoti N, which is from the outstate, that is out of Maharashtra. The second project is the hostel management system, which is also from the Kalasangam Academy of Research and Education, Tamil Nadu, and the author is Akash K and his team. The third, the base project, it goes to the Intelligent Public Transportation System, which is from Amritwahini College of Engineering, Sangamner, and the author is Rutuja K. Vaishnav. Similarly, from the minor category, the first base project title is Design and Manufacturing of Multi-Access Drilling Machine, which is from MIT ADT University Pune, and the author is the Kaustubh Desle and his team. The second base project, it goes to the drinking water heater, which is from Amritwahini College of Engineering, Sangamner, and the author is Pooja P. Jalan. The third, the project, it goes to the automation in electric geyser, Amritwahini College of Engineering, Sangamner. The author is Prasad R. Awad and his team. So, okay. Now we have the next session is yes. So now our honorable principal Dr. R.S. Biskar with us, and now I request sir to please share his view on this particular event. Sir, please.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible to us.
Yeah, earlier I think I spoke, but nobody could hear anything. My microphone was off. I didn't notice that. Now
Yes.
I think you are able to hear, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Gawande. And I am really happy that Mechanical Engineering Department has organized this activity. There are a good number of participants. I heard there are more than 250 participants. How many are present, sir, right now on this forum, on this Google Meet?
Sir, 60 now.
60. That's really great. Yeah. And we have now, because of COVID, we have to do the things differently. Otherwise, this would have been a great event where everybody would have come together and done this activity. But now with the changing scenario, we have to follow these new conventions, new ways of doing the things. And I'm sure students must have enjoyed doing these activities. I wish all the best to all the students hello. I wish them all the best for this activity and all subsequent activities. Do take part. We have to work like this now. And the students should look for their improvement in their skills. Coursera and NPTEL courses are available. They should start doing these courses. They should take programs also. I could do in last 1 month, I could do a full-fledged mobile application development for institute or departmental timetabling. Just now I have demonstrated it to others. So students should also look for skill development. It is very essential. For another 6 months or so, we may not be able to work freely. I'm sure you will all participate and complete these activities very nicely in future as well. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, anything else? Will you please tell me something more about the participants, about what activities they have done?
Yeah, Actually, sir, we have taken the project reports from them, and we have sent the project reports for the review to the faculty members from outside the institute. And we have arranged the two technical sessions. One is from Dr. Sunil Samboli, who is assistant professor from the Uttarakhand University. And the second, the keynote speaker is Rohan R. Pandey, who is from SVNIT Surat, but because of some unavoidable situation, he can't make the lecture. So we have conducted one technical session by Dr. Sunil Samboli, sir. Here.
Okay, sir.
At
Go
the same
ahead.
time,
Great,
yeah,
sir. Now you have also identified, I suppose, the winners for this event.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So go
Yeah,
ahead and announce.
Yeah, we have also the inaugurate the e-souvenir also. Let me show you if you want.
Great.
E-souvenir.
So nice.
Yeah, sir.
So nice. So nice.
Yes, sir.
So now this has been done by our students
Yes, sir.
or faculty. Faculty. Great.
Faculty members, including all.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to know exactly who, because I cannot do that. So I just wanted to know at the moment, of course, if I look into that, we will certainly be able to do it with help from Google and other courses and videos. But at the moment, I said I cannot do it. So someone has done it. That's really, I appreciate all the people who have invested their valuable time in this activity, all the participants who have participated in this taken keen initiative. Can we hear some participants as well, their views about this kind of activity? I do not know anything about this because we were all locked down.
Yeah. I request the participants to please send the message in the chat box who want to speak, so that I can unmute, or you can unmute and I can talk.
Yeah, you can allow someone to do that. At least one, this one, not many, because your schedule will be disturbed in that case. What is the next sequence of events, sir? You will be presenting those lectures to the students?
The lecture is over, sir. And
okay.
Yeah, the last part is only the vote of thanks, sir.
Okay. Fine. So I really appreciate once again all the participants who have taken part in this activity. Keep it up. We will soon be relieved from this, treachery of COVID, and I'm sure the life will be normal once again. We are all eager to have that. So certainly. We will hope for the best and more such activities to be conducted. Design contests particularly leading to patents. Now newer challenges are there. The students should take part in patent oriented research. One student from our, I think, mechanical engineering or ENTC engineering, he has prepared one sanitization channel. It's a small machine, but it's a indigenous. And he is going to start the manufacture of that. We have placed an order for 2 such machines, and he will start his own company shortly. We will incubate that company in our institute. So there are opportunities for students, and they should look around. They should think of doing some projects which will lead to probably patents, and these products can be manufactured. If any student wants any support, we will be very happy to give support for such activities leading to patents, leading to incubation. We are really happy to do that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Please, sir. Now.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now we will move to the end of this program. Let me present the vote of thanks. I'm thankful to our honorable principal sir, Dr. R.S. Biskar sir, for giving us the permission to organize such type of events in our institute. I'm also thankful to the head of department, Dr. P.R. Chitragar, for continuous motivation. I'm thankful to all the participants, the students and faculty who have shown the faith in us, and they have combined with our institute and presented their or they submitted their project report with us. We are really thankful for that. We are also thankful to all the HODs and the faculty members of our institute for taking their valuable time for the review of the paper. I'm also thankful to all the faculty members outside our institutes from other university for sharing their expertise and giving us the correct feedback on the project report. So I'm thankful. Lastly, I'm thankful to the organizing the committee, that is our team Innovator 2020, for all their help. I'm also thankful to all the teaching and non-teaching faculty for the support and the motivation. So thank you very much. I hope you will enjoy the session, today's session. Now, for all the participants, I will share the feedback link in the chat box. Please submit your feedback and get your participation certificate. For students who have submitted their project report, we will send the separate link to their mail, and they will get another certificate of the competition certificate. So there are two certificates for the students. One is participation certificate and another is competition certificate. So with this, so I will take your leave. So thank you very much.